I came to Clemson about 4 years ago as a PhD student in mathematical sciences. I was on a research assistant about the first year and a half before I ever started teaching. Then I started teaching, went straight into Calculus 1. And I was just trying to think how I was going to organize my class, how was I going to do things, like how can I make it so my class can do better. The material can't get easier, but maybe we can make it so that the students can get to the level of being able to reach the material. And we thought, well, how can I do that? They post old tests online. And I thought, okay, well, I'll just have my students do all the old tests and they should be able to see that, okay, some of these problems are repeating. I mean, not like exactly repeating, but the ideas behind every last problem is repeating. So, okay, that would help them on the test. And I found that if I just give the students a assignment that says, do the old 3 tests and turn it in, I didn't really get very good results. So they took their first test and they missed a lot of problems that were very similar to the old test. And I was like, well, what happened, guys? We went over those, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't really put that much effort into it. It was just like an assignment. We didn't really think it was fun, et cetera, because the answers are online, so they can just literally write the answers down and turn it in. And I thought, okay, that's not gonna work. And I thought, what if I give it a catchy name, we meet after class, and do something like that. So I said, okay, guys, I just got done watching the movie Fight Club with my girlfriend, and I was like, everyone loves Fight Club. And I was like, well, what if we make a calculus Fight Club? So that's where the name came from. It's gonna be called Calculus Fight Club. That should get people excited in it, like, oh, what does that mean? And then I thought, okay, and what we're gonna do is go over old tests. We're not gonna really say too much that it's exactly how it's gonna happen, but we're gonna go over old test problems, maybe modify them a little bit, get their minds thinking, and then be like, okay, now do similar problems or other old test problems similar to the one we just taught, and get people working in groups and have people help each other. And that way they can do the old test, which was the goal that I wanted them to do, but at the same time, now they're tricking themselves into like having fun at the event. And it started with just my class, about a class of 50. So it was me, a class of 50. We had that. They got their second test results back way better. And everyone's like, that seemed to help us a lot. And I was like, that's great. Let's do it for the third test. They were like, hey, can we bring friends? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? It went from 50 to 100, way too many to fit in one room. And I thought, okay, well, how am I going to handle this? I turned to it was at the time SI leader, but now they're POW leaders. And I said, hey, would you mind teaching half of this? And he's like, oh yeah, I can do it. And I knew he had the ability to do it. So he went over into the other room, and this was of course at 9 o'clock at night. So I just opened up another room, split the things in 2, and like went back and forth between them a little bit. But then it seemed like everything was going well. He was teaching really well. And I thought, well, wait a second. What if the POW leaders are like the students in the class just teach, and I just walk back and forth and make sure everything's going okay, maybe help with complicated things. Because I was like, if this keeps continuing like this, I'm gonna be in trouble, because I can't be everywhere at once. And sure enough, we had a final Fight Club for the final that year, and 200 students showed up. So I had to have 4 students from my class do the teaching, and then myself and my POW leader walked around and helped. And this continued to expand and expand and expand until this semester, where we have about 400 to 500 students coming every single Calculus Fight Club. But we're not just doing it for Math 1060 or Math 1080, we also have Math 1020, Math 2070, and we do have plans to extend to every coordinated math class. All you need is to find the interest to teach it, and you're good to go. So that's basically the quick, brief history of how it started and how it got to where it is right now.
Coming up in August, Ryan will be graduating and moving on, so I'm moving up to take his role to coordinate everyone between all 4 of those courses. Because before this I was coordinating 1080, and then this semester I've been helping with 1060 and 1080, and some of the newer ones as we've been adding 2070 and 1020. So I've kind of been floating this semester, doing some of the things that Ryan's been doing, and so from there I'll be moving up to kind of make sure that everything goes well, and that kind of make sure that we're being responsible about it, and that we're going out and recruiting students to help with us, and making sure that we're being recognized by the math department as not being taken over, because Ryan's big emphasis is that it's run by students, for students, rather than being taken over by a department. Because we do things kind of unconventionally when we have a review session from 9 p.m. till midnight.
I'm the coordinator for Math 1060. So I schedule rooms for every fight club, all the maths, and then for Math 1060 I recruit leaders. I choose which problems we do, I choose which ones we teach, which ones the students practice, and I teach one of the rooms. Several of them have told me they like how it alternates between lecture, where we go through a test problem and I explain the thought process behind some of the steps and things that tend to get missed in class, and where numbers come from, and then give them a chance to do it on their own to see how does that actually work when they have to do it. I try and keep things even across classrooms and alternate within each classroom between lecture and practice. It's definitely a lot louder when the students are doing it on their own, that some finish early and they start talking with friends, others are asking each other for help. In general, they're respectful when someone's lecturing because they want to listen and hear what's going on.
Well, it's basically gotten me through Calc 2. Calc 2 is really not a joke. It's very difficult, and it's like people underestimate it, I think. I mean, it's spoken a lot about but it is a difficult course, and being able to go to a study session with professors and other people that are in the same environment really helps. It helps you do problems on problems over and over, basically just preparing you as much as you can for the exam. And if I didn't show up to that, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now in that class. It helps so much that it doesn't become an exam anymore. It just becomes like homework. It just becomes like a process that I just did a couple days ago. I did previous exams on myself and everything, but I didn't fully grasp all the concepts of the entire unit until I actually showed up. And it's not like they teach you there, but it's more of they take what you know and refine it so you can focus on things that are going to be on the exam.